Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid, and I'm really glad that you found me in the dark recesses of TarotTube. Anyway, today we're going to be discussing April, decks I used, products I've tried. We're going to cover it all. And with that, let's get to it. Okay, right off the bat, before I forget, I want to discuss some channels that I've been watching. Just some smaller channels. Of course, I've been watching my favorites, Boho Tarot, Lisa Papez, Kelly Fitzgerald, Truth and Story. But there's some other smaller channels that I think that maybe if you're not watching already, that maybe you might like if you're not aware of them already. The first of which is Liz at Tarot for the Heathens, and I've mentioned her channel before on a video maybe last week, or yeah, very recently. But she just did, and I think she posted it today, a video, a VR to my video talking about FOMO. If maybe a lot of you have seen it and commented on that, but in her beautiful, thoughtful way and her elegant way, she brought the discussion up to the next level in a way that I never could. And I feel that she kind of expressed it, said some things that I wish in retrospect I could have said, but I didn't. You know, we're all different in how we express ourselves. In fact, I feel so lacking in that respect. I don't know why. Sometimes I question myself why I do these videos, because I feel like I'm all over the place. But anyway, she does it so beautifully, and I will link that video below. I think you really need to see it. And then HazelJane Tarot did a VR to my video of Gotta Go decks, where I had my little Alice backpack, and I picked the decks that I would take in an emergency, like you had to run out of the house because of natural disaster, zombie apocalypse. Well, she did a VR to that, and she is so sweet. She's in Ireland, and I could just listen to her videos. You might want to just do one of her playlists, or just listen to a bunch of her videos, because I could hear her speak all day. She's a unique soul, and one thing that I really appreciated that she did was that she did a video on how to pronounce some Gaelic names. Now, she recently got the Fairy Wicca Tarot. It's a deck that I had gotten from Half Price Books, and she got a deck for herself, and she did a video where she went through going through the pronunciation of the Gaelic names, and I found that to be really, really helpful. And she's just a sweet soul, and somebody, if I ever get to the UK, I would really, really love to meet her. And yeah, if you're not familiar with her channel, check it out. I will link one of her videos below. And then also Emily's Tarot Magik, wonderful, wonderful resource for just a fresh perspective on decks. She does a lot of VRs. She does a lot of video responses, which I love to watch. And she's also a practicing witch, so very, very creative. And I like to see the younger perspective. I like to see channels that run the gamut with perspective. I have channels I watch with you know, the 20 to 30-year-olds, and then, you know, kind of around, you know, my generation, 40 to 50, and then I like to watch a few with the there's not very many of them, from, you know, 60 up. And yeah, and then who else? Oh yes, can't forget to mention Candy, Soul, and Soil. Oh my gosh, she did a VR to my video of hashtag tarot deck storage, I think it was called. I can't even remember. She recently posted her video, her VR to that, and I'm gonna link it below, because her home is like a little fairy wonderland. Oh my gosh, it was so sweet with what she did with her storage out of thrifted furniture, and what she did, you know, making these cute little cabinets. And her home in, I think she's in England, is just, it's so special because of these homemade touches. And I think you're really, really going to enjoy her video and her channel if you're not already watching it. She is wonderfully creative. She also does art, and I think you would really enjoy her channel. If you're not already watching it, you probably are, because she's wonderful. And then, last but not least, I can't pronounce it, doesn't flow off the tongue. Saturnarium. Saturnarium. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Anyway, she's in Brazil. And that young woman, she is so wise. She is a practicing Brazilian witch. She's got years and years of tarot and witchcraft under her belt. And to see it and hear it from a perspective of someone in Brazil, in her magical paradise. It looks like a magical paradise to me. It's like she lives in a place where I want to be right now. So beautiful. I've recently enjoyed her video where she showed us her magical garden and her fairy house that she made. That video was so special. It really, really reminded me of the backyard and of the home that I grew up in LA. My mother's from Mexico, so she was Latin, and I see a lot of similarities in the aesthetic, and it just brought me back. It really, really did. And I think she's a person that my mom would have really, really liked. I would like to meet her. She is just so cool and so wise. And today she just posted a video, her look and her take on the Lightseers Tarot, and her opening is so hilarious. She has a way with words. She really, really does. She's Brazilian, but she speaks English better than I do. I trip over my words, and she, you know, she's the bomb. So I'm going to link a couple of her videos down. If you're not watching her, oh my gosh, you need to be watching her. And all these channels that I mentioned, they are so wonderful, so entertaining, and so informative. Okay, let's get on with the decks, because I know that's what you're interested in, right? So the first deck I was working with at the beginning of April, and because it was basically a holdover from March, was the Tarot of Mystical Moments. And so I worked with it for the very, very beginning of April, because mostly I worked with it towards the end of March, and I carried it over. Now I tried to the first oracle that I paired with this deck was the Oracle of Mystical Moments. I'm like very, very unimaginative, and it pairs well for me. I know a lot of people don't connect with the keywords of the Oracle of Mystical Moments, but I do, and I found that it was just a really real easy fit. But then I just wanted to branch out a little bit, and I'll show you the other oracle that I used. But a lot of the times I felt that this deck was enough. This imagery is so rich, and it's oracle and tarot-like at the same time. And there's not a card in this deck that I don't resonate with. This deck, if you've been on my channel long enough, you know this is up my alley, and it ticks all the boxes of the whimsical, the collage, the dreamlike quality of this deck. And I hope in the UK you've been able to get your decks. I'm sorry, I'm pointing. That's not polite. I hope you've been able to get your decks. I know that there was a holdup, that not everybody has been able to get this deck, but this has been just a very, very easy reader for me. It's kind of been like a walk through Wonderland for me. And I knew from the onset that I would bond with this deck. I knew that it would be an easy reader for me. This deck is so wonderful for me. I know there's a lot of people who won't connect with it, and that's fine. But this deck ticks all the boxes for me. There's not one card in the bunch that I didn't connect with. Now this deck does come with a bunch of extra cards that and it's wonderful when decks do that. So, you know, the Emperor, and then we have for the kings, we have these female cards. I love these female kings, but I'm keeping them out only because with this deck, it's largely female centric, and I wanted to have a better mix of, you know, the masculine in here, because it is such a deck of whimsy and it just speaks to the feminine. But I find that this deck is such an easy reader for any kind of reading, for relationship readings, for self-love readings, just for general day-to-day readings. I can't say enough good things about this deck. Now, I paired, I first started with the Oracle of Mystical Moments, but then I went to the Goddess Love Oracle to pair with the deck, and just because I thought it was similar, you know, bright color palette, and just because also I wasn't as familiar with this deck. It's a newer deck to my collection, but I found it paired fairly well. But I did go with a period of not pairing any Oracle deck with the Tarot of Mystical Moments, because I felt it didn't really need it. You know, I found that I was getting just everything I needed with the tarot itself. But I found that this paired very adequately. I'm still, you know, I kind of want to work with this deck by itself. I love Wendy Andrews decks. I just think they are just beautiful and gorgeous. And I do have a side-by-side with this deck and her other Oracle deck, if you haven't seen it yet. But yes, it paired well, but there's just something about the Tarot of Mystical Moments I found that I wanted to work with it all by itself and not pair it with, you know, other Oracle decks. The next deck that I worked for the bulk of April was the Shimmering Veil Tarot by Scylla Conway. And I first became aware of this video through Simon from the Hermit's Cave, his channel, and I was instantly drawn to it. The artwork, something about it called to me. But I held off on getting it, and because I didn't think I'd be able to read with it. I was doubting my intuition at the time. I was just kind of doubting myself in a lot of areas. So when I finally got it, I filmed an unboxing of it, and I never posted it because I just, for various reasons, I didn't like it. I didn't feel confident. But I finally, you know, chose this to work with it in April, and I found that this deck was exactly the deck that I needed. It does follow the RWS system, but it kind of goes its own way. It's got a lot of shadowy figures, silhouette of figures that are hidden in the artwork, figures without faces, and with shadowy forms, and it was exactly the deck that I needed. It doesn't just hand it to you on a silver platter. I found, at least for me, I had to spend time with it, literal time, just examining the images and examining the meanings and reflecting upon them, because it's not a silver platter kind of a deck. April was hard, as you know, if you've been on my channel. We had to put our beloved family member, our dog Riley, down, and this deck was just this deck was a comfort. It had me bawling, it had me laughing. It was exactly what I needed for this month. And I've had it carry over for the little bit of April, for May. I'm shooting this in May. because I still needed it and I wasn't quite ready to let it go. I have picked out another deck to work on for the rest of May, and you'll see that in just a second. But this deck, it's been a hard month. In the beginning of the month, my mother-in-law just died this week, and our dog died, and this deck was a comfort to me. It wasn't as dark as I thought it would be, you know, just because of figures like this. It was actually comforting, and it was kind of like a warm blanket. It was actually more like a hug deck than a shadow deck, if that makes any sense. And I'd like to know if you've worked with this deck, if you've found that to be the case, or if you think that a deck, any deck that you work with, will give you what you need at the time that you ask it. You know, I thought this would be more of a shadowy type deck, or more of a deep dive kind of a deck, and it is, but I also found it to be a gentle, warm hug when I needed it. So it brought out deep emotions, and like I said, it did make me laugh. And it's kind of hard to see how this can make you laugh with this artwork, but it made me cry, tears of sadness, tears of joy, and tears of happiness as well. So yeah, it did suit my needs for this very, very complicated time frame for my family, for me and my husband. So it is a great deck. I would like to know what your experience working with this deck has been. Leave it in the comments below. What I paired with it was the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck by Lily Ashwell. And I found that this deck just paired really, really well. I would do my daily draws. I would pick a couple of these cards, and I would pick a couple of the tarot cards from the Shimmering Veil, and I found that they paired very, very well. Just something about the artwork, and it's just uncanny. You know, I haven't been working with tarot for years and years and years and years, but I find it, I'm still struck and in awe about how closely, you know, you pick, how an oracle deck can enhance a tarot reading. You know, whether you pick your cards at the beginning to start out your tarot reading, or at the end to solidify or to enhance a message. And this deck really, really did it with the Shimmering Veil. Great deck. And I will say again, great deck for beginners if you're learning astrology like I am. If you're a beginner, this is really, really a great deck. Another deck that I worked with, and I was so happy to work with this deck, was the Jane Austen Oracle. And I have a full unboxing of this set. It's by Carrie Paris and Diane Wilkes. Now, Diane Wilkes is the creator of the now unavailable out-of-print Jane Austen Tarot by Los Scarabeo. And I was thrilled to pieces that when you bought this kit, and it comes with a myriad of stuff in here, not just one deck, but when you bought the kit, you got 5 classes, and they were for the month of April, and yeah, the month of April, and then the 1st of May. The last class was last week. Anyway, here's the Oracle deck. Now this deck is a Lenormand deck, but they also added cards from what is traditionally known as the Gypsy Witch cards, or Gypsy Witch deck. So it has 54 cards, I think, in here. So it's a combination of all the traditional Lenormand, and then she added a few. The class was wonderful. Carrie Paris taught taught a class. There were other instructors, and Diane Wilkes taught 2 classes, and they were fantastic. And I'm hoping to show some of the Lenormand spreads in a future video. Just kind of a continuation of let's play with the spread series that I want to continue. I've done just 1 video, but I would like to continue with that, and I think I'm going to break out this deck so I can share the Lenormand spreads for those of you who like Lenormand, or maybe those of you who are curious. I'm not a Lenormand expert. I play with it, and but I really like this system. I really do. And I just found Rena George's book at Half Price Books, so I'm really excited to delve into that. But this has been a joy. Those 5 classes and getting to meet Diane Wilkes, and I've taken other classes, online classes from Carrie. But to be able to meet some other instructors and to learn other ways to read Lenormand. And it was funny because before class I'd always get on early and I'd get to say hello to Carrie. But she says that there's a difference in reading styles from what's done in the US and to what's done in Europe, because one of the instructors was from Switzerland, and there's a totally different tradition in the way that Lenormand is read. So that was interesting to hear. Yeah, just a wealth of information. And I did ask Diane Wilkes if there's any plans for the Jane Austen Tarot to come back into print, and she's like, no. I think she's working on a project that she says I want to complete before I die. So yeah, for those of us who missed out on that deck, I wasn't even into tarot when that deck was out. It's like wah. But I have this, and I was able to meet her via the Zoom class, and I was so grateful to be able to take those 5 classes. So that was a thrill, that was a joy. Oh, and also to let you know, if you missed out on this kit, and it was a very limited number because they wanted to keep the class limited, but this deck, I have, confirmed by Carrie and Diane that it is going to be available again. So sign up for Carrie Paris's email on her website so you can be notified. She doesn't have a concrete date because she's busy and she's working on other things. But the deck is going to change coloration and maybe some of the images, I don't know, but it is going to change. It is going to be a slightly different deck from this. So they didn't elaborate on what changes would be made, but it's, if you already have the deck, if you bought this original iteration, like, we're going to be getting the next deck for free. So that's kind of nice. So we were like the guinea pigs for the deck, and yeah, I feel so lucky to be able to have participated in that class and to have this beautiful set. All right, something fun that I purchased for myself that wasn't related to tarot. Well, you all saw my Gotta Go decks video where I got a gift from my sister. It was a cute little Alice in Wonderland backpack by Loungefly, and they're the brand that you can buy at the Disney stores and in the Disney parks. Their products of purses and bags and other merchandise. Well, when I got her gift, I had a 50% off coupon. So it was going to expire at the end of April. So I went ahead and purchased this. It's the Little Mermaid. And it is a crossbody bag, and also you could, just a regular handbag, but it's a crossbody bag. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. It is so cute. Here's the back of it, and it has really cute purple interior, but I was like, I can't resist. And then I bought the little I think it was really cheap, but it's so cute. So that was something that I thought was fun. And I'm like, yeah, I went back and forth about it because I'm going, again, I have an Alice in Wonderland backpack, and it's like, how old am I? 14 or 54? And my husband was like, just kind of giving me the side eye with both bags. And he's like, really? I was like, yes, these are fun. These are like, you know, I'm not gonna, when I get dressed up to go someplace, but who's getting dressed up these days to go any place? But that day will come. But these are just like for around town, just for bringing some whimsy. And yeah, it's so cute, and it's Ariel. It's the Little Mermaid, and of course I had to have it. Okay, another big thing that happened in April. You all saw my video that I did earlier in the month, and part of it, what brought on that video, was cutting my hair. So I went from this to this. Transformations. It was my video on transformations. And I needed a haircut. I really, really did. But the other reason why I went in to my hairdresser was to have my hair reconfigured, recolored, so that my impending grays would blend in more naturally, so I could go gray more gracefully. And with darker hair, you know, with the hair dyed hair, you got that major line of demarcation that I knew I wasn't going to have the patience for. And yeah. So I had her lighten it, and she stripped out all the color, all the darker dye, and put some highlights in it so that the grays would blend in more seamlessly. So there is still going to be a line. The grays are coming in, and you're all going to see it on camera. You're going to watch me go gray. As I don't know if you're going to see it, but yeah, the gray runway is starting to come in, but it isn't as harsh. Can you see it? It isn't as harsh as it would have been with my darker dyed hair. So yeah, got a haircut and lightened my hair, and I ain't gonna lie, that whole process of lightening my hair and having all that color stripped out, it fried my hair. It really did. And so I'm having to baby it a little bit. And another thing is, you know, I realized I didn't have a good hair dryer. I had a Hot Tools hair dryer that is like giving up the ghost. It's on its last leg. And I haven't blow dried my hair with a round brush in ages because my hair was long. I would let it air dry and I would put it up. And if I was gonna, you know, the only time I would fix it was when I was doing a video, and I would take a curling iron to it to make it look presentable. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do this thing anymore, and the bzzz. So I've seen on TikTok, and I've been going down the rabbit hole of YouTube videos, and I found this contraption here. The Hot Tools Professional Stylist One-Step Blush Blow Dryer, whatever they're calling it, one of these thingies. So yeah, this thing, so it's a blow dryer and a round brush at the same time, and it's charcoal infused, and they say it's 24 karat plated gold and whatnot. There's settings on here, cool, high, low, whatever. Bells and whistles. There's a cheaper Revlon, but I think the reviews say this is better. It doesn't get quite as hot. With the Revlon, people said that you get a burny smell, and it's super hot, and I didn't want to do that. But there's a learning curve for this, and the first couple of times I used it, my hair was definitely frizzy. But you have to get the right tension, and I think I washed and blow dried my hair today, and I think I got it pretty smooth. And one thing I noticed, that my hair is really straight with just a little bit of bends in it. naturally when I was younger, but now that my hair is, you know, mostly gray naturally, the texture has changed. So I find that I have a lot more frizz, and I live in a high humidity area. You know, I'm in Austin and we have a lot of humidity, so trying to get something that'll smooth down the frizzies is, yeah. My hair doesn't air dry pretty, you know. My daughter's hair air dries beautifully, but mine doesn't. So yeah, I needed this, and yeah, the first 2 times I was like, I'm not getting this, so I had to go and look at YouTube, consult YouTube with some hairstylists, and I think I did a better job of getting it smooth. The front part right here is where I have trouble, but yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it. I think I'm gonna keep it. I purchased this on Amazon if y'all are interested in something like this. It is easier than using the, you know, a separate round brush and a blow dryer. It is, because, you know, you do this and you got the tension and you just do this. And I thought it was easier, and I thought it was a little bit faster. So I think that covers what I used and what was going on in April. So let's head on into May. I'm going to show you what decks I'm planning to work and focus on in May, and also another part of my life that I want to get organized, something that I need to do, and that's to pick a planner that I want to use. And yeah, I'm having a hard time, so maybe y'all can help me out. So let's head over to the table. Okay, so one thing I really want to do is to get more organized, to be more efficient in my productivity, and because I really am a discombobulated mess. I don't accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, and I find that because now that I don't have any pressing demands on my time for the most part, I kind of flit about, and yes, it's typical with Pisces. 2020, this is what I used. I started going the planner route because I saw, a YouTube video, and I go, oh my gosh, they're so cute, they're so cute. And I got it for, you know, started it in January, and then I found that I really didn't have all that many things to plan. After, you know, March, because of everything that went down. But see, I got this planner to mark my workouts and my food intake, which was really good. It was a fun thing to do. And I also had a planner for my daily stuff, you know, which was good. And it was fun with Happy Planner because they make it really easy when you're getting into planning and using all the stickers, but also it can be quite expensive when you have to buy all the new sticker books and whatnot. And then I found that this wasn't, I used it, and you know, I was really good about using it for the whole year, and then December I dropped off. So mostly I was using it to keep on task for productivity. I didn't have a lot of appointments, you know, I wasn't meeting anybody. I didn't have any classes to take, you know, sewing classes, sewing meetups. I wasn't doing, you know, before lockdown, I was starting to do some free in-person readings, tarot readings, where I'd meet up with some people at a local Barnes & Noble and do readings for them. And, you know, that all stopped. That all stopped in March. So yeah, but so the planner went more into productivity, you know, for my meditation, marking off, you know, my daily tarot readings and exercise. You know, I had the separate planner for exercise. And so, yeah, I was really good, but I want something a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more simple, something different. I really like this. I had fun, and it got me into the planner habit, But for the past few months, I haven't used anything because I couldn't decide what I wanted to use instead of the Happy Planner, even though I decided I didn't want to use Happy Planner. So these things have come in the mail from Amazon in the past few days. They've been trickling in. Now this is, let me see if I can get it so you can see more of it, the Erin Condren Focused Undated Planner, because we are in May and I don't want to wait until, what is it, July or August, you know, when they come out with the 17-month planners. So, and also I thought because it's undated, it would give me some freedom. I think this paper is 90 or 100 GSM for those of you who are into planners. So it has a section for goals and intention, and this is like the antithesis of the Happy Planner. It's very simple. So you have an undated monthly calendar, and then you have kind of like a weekly dashboard, and you know, some free space to create. And then you just have very simple spaces, and I thought I would use maybe this part for my daily tasks, and maybe this part to note my workouts. So this is a lot, and then you have a space here for notes and a task list, which I think is really great, and it's very simple. And if I wanted to decorate with washi tape, markers, or stickers, I could. And I like that they also have the Saturday and Sunday separated, and not just one, which a lot of undated planners and some planners don't have. So this is Erin Condren, and I think I'm leaning towards this one, but I'll show you some other things. Oh, the other thing, Erin Condren, this is a productivity notebook. Which I thought that I could use for maybe, let me get down a little bit lower, for, you know, that I could use for maybe social media or some other things, maybe wellness. So the whole notebook is like this, you know, you get some task lists, you could do budgeting here, and then you've got some creative space, which I really, really like this layout. And something like this, the other is larger, that would keep it home. This is something smaller that I could take with me, kind of to be a companion. So these are strong contenders. This is the Clever Fox Deluxe Pro Fancy Schmancy Planner here, and it comes in this beautiful magnetic box. And it's undated, and there's a whole system to it, and there's a booklet on how to use it. And see, look how beautiful that is. And I chose this green. Now this is about $36. And see, it's still in the plastic. I'm gonna have to get it out of the plastic. So this is also, it's like a system. This is a whole system for developing goals, for increasing productivity, and this is a lot more intricate. It's beautiful vegan leather. This is really, really, really nice. It's got the band to keep it enclosed or to serve as a marker, and it's got a pen holder. And if we open this up, it's undated, did I say? You've got all these sheets here as to all these plans that you do before you even get into the planner, which can be good. You know, it makes you think about your year and what is your plan. You know, what am I grateful for, my affirmations, what am I passionate about, skills to learn, and then a space for a vision board. This is non-dot grid. And then you have goals for all these different aspects of your life: financial, personal development, spiritual. It has a place for a mind map and your 3-month goals. And this paper is really nice. I don't know if it's 100 GSM, maybe 120, maybe not quite 120. But you have, the problem I have with this is all the monthly calendars are in one place, and then you go into the weekly calendars. But these are really nice, you know. They have everything you could want. So that's 1 month, and then you do a monthly review, and then it goes on to the next monthly calendar and a monthly review. You know, your biggest wins, insights gained, what you were lacking, progress. And then after the 12 months of the monthly calendars, you go into your month and year. And this is all undated. So you have the days, you only have a little bit, a tiny space for Saturday and Sunday. And then on the second page, again, you categorize things. A little bit of freedom, dot grid here, where you could, you know, be creative, use stickers, and then again, personal to-do list for this week, habit trackers for this week. It's really, really a wonderful, wonderful planner. I really like this, but the thing that's getting me is that the monthly planners and then you go into the weekly planners, it's disorienting, at least to me, because, you know, you have to flip from one to the other instead of having them, you know, together. There are 2 ribbons so you can keep track of where you are. So I don't know, you guys, I really like this. I mean, for really getting organized, for really setting goals and setting intention, this is a really, really great planner. So I'm kind of torn between this and the Erin Condren. Got this sort of bullet journal or dot grid journal by Scribbles That Matter. I love their little box here. So if you want to take a more artistic approach, you know, I picked up this book here, and again, it has a nice band, the pen holder, it's got a nice vegan leather cover. That's the back. It's really sturdy, and look, the pen holder is held in by a, you know, a little bolt. This is really nice, and this is 160 GSM, so there shouldn't be any bleed through for any pens or markers that you use. So, you know, it comes with the bullet journal index, and then, you know, you go with it. So I'm kind of attracted to this as well. But I would have to totally set it up, you know, totally set it up. And so because of that, just to see, I picked up a bunch of stencils because I really don't know which way I want to go, you guys. I'm so confused, and a lot of this is going back because I don't know what I'm going to just decide. But this is for an A5, these stencils for an A5 journal, and this pack comes with stickers. Cute little pack. But bullet journaling, yes, is going to require a little bit more time, and time which would take away from other things. Like I really, really want to pick up my sewing again. And my, you know, I started doing some mixed media art, which, because I haven't been budgeting my time wisely, I haven't been doing. So yeah, I bought that. I bought, for some cling stamps, which I have, I bought these little acrylic holders, blocks, because I have bigger ones. And you know what? They came from Amazon opened like this. Not cool, but I think I am going to keep those. And, you know, for these smaller bullet journaling cling stamps. And then I got this pack here. In this box, there's a set of bullet journaling stamps. It comes with ink, but I already have ink. I did open one of these boxes. They come totally wrapped in plastic, and I feel so bad. I had to open these things because you know, you can't tell. And I was looking at you know, some unboxings, and I couldn't tell, I couldn't decide, and now I can't figure out how to open this darn box here. So in this one little box, you get all these little stamps with a calendar and, you know, the date, and look at how fun. And there's several other kits. This was all like $18, you guys. Really, it was $18 for this. See, you got this little box, and it slides in like this. And then these are all sealed. I didn't open them, but you know, you got all of this. And these are separate stamps. So that's one stamp, 2, 3, 4. This is another 5, 6, probably 7, 8. You know, so I could do meals here if I wanted to go Bujo. And then there's another box in here. I didn't open these. So look at all these separate stamps that are in here. You get a lot for under $20 with this little kit. Really, really cool, you guys. Really cool. So yeah, as far as the journaling, I don't know which way I'm gonna go. There are definite pluses for all of these systems. I don't know, what do you think? Have you used any of these? I'll let you know next month what I end up keeping, but I would really, really like your input. Taking into account, I've never done bullet journaling before, but you know, it's kind of creative and I feel like I need that, but at the same time, I love the cleanliness of this Erin Condren, and it does allow space for creativity. So I don't know. Start commenting below. Another thing I want to start up again in May is sewing. I've let my sewing slide. It's been months since I've done some actual garment sewing. So I bought this pattern. It's an indie pattern. Yes, there are indie and mass market patterns. And I tend to have the best luck with indie patterns. And this one is by a indie pattern maker, Christine Haynes. And I have some of her other patterns. And I got this nice postcard with a thank you. This dress, here, let me get down a little bit lower. I saw it on her website and I thought it was so cute for a summer dress. You know, easy breezy. I wouldn't be making this view though, because when they're that voluminous, I'm kind of petite, and I'm like just under 5'4". I'm like 5'3 3/4. I couldn't quite make that 1/4 inch, but this I would. So I'm not very tall. I would probably get lost in it, and I'm kind of on the smaller side. So you see, you get these choices. With this one pattern, you can make a top either with a button front or just plain with a pocket. You can make just it straight up and down with a button placket here. And also you can make it with a gathered skirt, if you can see right here, with 2 pockets on the front, either with a button placket or without. And here is the voluminous dress that you get. You know, it's tiered with a tiered skirt. That's this view. But see, you get all these different views, and I think I'm toggling between these two. And you know what? I think I'd probably do this one first, but I would do that one second, because I love dresses in the summer. I am very much a skirt and dress girl here in humid Austin. And I love these patterns, you know, her patterns, because she lets you know the difficulty. So it's a 2 out of 5 spools. And she gives you suggested fabrics, everything that you need. So I need to get some buttons. So I want to make this dress, and I did order some fabric. So I got this fabric from a company called Hearts Fabric in Northern California. But look, I got some cute little labels. one of a kind. I sew in the back, you know, of my homemade items. Got some matching thread. And look at this. This is a rayon viscose. And this is Megan Carter for Cotton and Steel. Cotton and Steel is a big, you know, kind of independent fabric brand. It's very, very popular, but look how beautiful that floral pattern is. And this would just drape off the body. It would be very, very floaty. So I think it would be perfect. So I'm hoping to, with big goals, I'm hoping to complete it in May, and maybe I can show you next month my completed dress in my May favorites video. But if I could just get started and maybe even getting it half done, I would consider that, you know, kind of goal accomplished, just to get started and you know, have it maybe at least halfway done. That is one of my goals. So decks that I'm planning to work with in the month of May. So I just started working with this. I was gifted this deck by a wonderful person in the tarot community, and I was so overwhelmed by her kindness and her generosity. I wanted this deck. I didn't even know of its existence until people started doing their unboxings and reviews of this deck. I fell in love with the art, and it's Anaturian, and at the time I found out about this deck, you know, I knew about her Oracle of Echoes, and that was unavailable at the time because that comes in and out, and I was so overwhelmed, I can't tell you. And I have, you know, once I got it, I took the deck out of the box and was, you know, just kind of holding it to see if I would, just to see what kind of vibes I was getting off the deck. And I think it's going to be a positive experience for me working with the deck. I know there was a little bit of drama. I was a little bit concerned about, you know, some of the, I didn't get too into it, and I tried purposely not to go down the rabbit hole about, you know, some of the issues about production and that, because I didn't want it to color my feelings about the deck itself, and especially, oh my gosh, Anna's beautiful artwork. So I'm going to be doing a deep dive with this deck in conjunction with the book. I'm going to be working with the deck and book in tandem. I'm going to be reading every page about every card, and while I'm doing that, I picked out a journal because I'm going to be doing my daily reads, my daily card pulls with this deck, but also I'm going to be working one card at a time in order, and journaling one card a day. And the journal I picked is this journal by Paper Blanks that I picked up at Half Price Books. Now you can't see because the timing is so small, but this is the Brontes. My favorite gals, Charlotte, Anne, and Emily, the Bronte sisters. And it has, there's very small writing on here. And I think, and I have really bad eyes, but oh, it looks like a diary. Some of it looks like a diary entry, but it reminds me of, oh, and that's 1834. So I'm trying to figure out if this is taken from one of their little teeny books that they were known to have written as children. Now, Charlotte and her brother Bramwell, they created their own world and their own characters and stories. And I think their world was Gondel. And then Emily and Anne were jealous of what they were doing, so they created their own world and stories. And I can't remember what their world was, but they wrote their stories on these teeny tiny little books with really teeny tiny writing. So I just thought that this was very magical, and I did, if I can find it, I found a larger version. I'm going to zoom up again a little bit. I found a larger version at Half Price Books on 2 different days, but I'm going with this one because it is lined, and this is unlined. But they're the same, except this is lined paper and this is not. Now, I'm not going to do any fancy, junk journaling or anything, because I just want to write. This is strictly for writing, because I want to be able to do 1 card a day, maybe 2, because the book that comes with the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot has a bunch of journal prompts, which I intend to be using. So, for instance, we have the High Priestess here and the journal prompts. What is deep within you? Where do your thoughts linger the most? What does intuition mean to you? When did you last experience the feeling of profound knowing? So I'm going to be doing all that. I'm going to be doing my daily readings, my daily card pulls, but I'm also going to be pulling a card or 2 in succession. Read about it and then do the journal prompts in my Bronte Paper Blanks journal. So I do my daily record my daily card pulls in this Biddy Tarot 2021 Tarot Planner, because it keeps me consistent. The spaces are small, so it keeps me consistent. The other thing that I like about the, I'm just going to show you really, really quick. They have new moon and full moon spreads, and I get to know, because I can't keep track of when the new moon and full moon are. So I could do my meditations and my, I take part in the spreads. I do the spreads. So in conjunction with the Bonestone and Earthflesh, the Oracle deck that I'm choosing to work with is the Oracle of Echoes by Anna Turian. So she did the artwork for both. Now, I just recently got this. I think she had a pre-order that ended for this at the end of January, and I have it, and now I'm going to be deep diving. Right now, you can pre-order a new edition. I don't know if she's calling it the 2nd edition or what, but it's going to have 10 extra cards. So if you're interested, definitely go to her website, and I believe that the pre-order is going to be opened until the end of this month, till like the 30th of May. So I will try to leave a link down below so you can find that. Unfortunately, this deck, the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot, is no longer available. Who's to say that it may not be picked up as a mass market deck? Hopefully that will be the case. Hopefully I can get my high knee in a gear, my poop in a group, I can get organized, and I'll have lots of things to report next month. I hope you all enjoyed my ramble of what I used, what decks I used, what I was into in the month of April, what was going on, and what's going forward heading on into May. I will check back with you. I'll let you know how everything went with the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. I'll let you know how the journaling went with that deck. I'll also let you know what my planner setup is going to be. Yeah, I'll let you know all of that. So let me know what big plans you have for May. What are your goals for May? What things have you loved? Leave everything down in the comments below. I really love to hear from you guys, and you guys always serve and help me put things into perspective. You turn me on to great things, and you teach me a lot, and with that, I thank you. So why don't you all get on and have your beautiful day. Bye for now.